Call to order the May 2nd, 2019 Building Subcommittee for the Police Station Building Subcommittee.
All right, great. I don't think we have any minutes to approve. As far as the construction goes, so the site clearing, as everybody knows, is complete. The excavation for all the boulders is complete with exception for the septic area, but we don't think we're gonna hit too much there. And the only thing that would be left would be any trenching, boulder-wise. And from what we've seen, we're feeling pretty good about it. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that we don't run into anything major. They've started well, you'll see if you look out there, the area that they brought up in the middle of the building, that's under your slab. So now around that whole area, they're putting in their footing trenches. So that started Monday, so they've been going along, adding structural fill. We've had the geotechnical engineer on site as well as the testing company to make sure that compaction's going well. So they'll get probably around halfway around the building and then start putting up their forms for concrete, and we'll start foundations. So that's the next big thing. Along with that, that's been going in is all of our drainage. So they have a good amount of the underground drainage already done. They've been working quickly on that, which is good. So that's pretty much it as far as the major update construction-wise goes. We did have the well company on site today for a pre-construction meeting. So they looked at the area that was going to be where the well is going. They realized that there's really no rush to get it in at this point. They'd like to work in conjunction with HV Collins. So HV Collins is going to work in that area, get out of the way, and then they'll bring in the well driller. So we're all set up there. So really the outlook for the next 2-3 weeks is going to be foundations. Any questions on that? Project schedule, they're still on schedule. So nothing's changed there. Like we talked about before last time, they're very happy with how the excavation has gone with the rocks and how they've been able to move through that, and now the drainage as well. It's going fairly quickly for them, so we're on schedule, no issues there.
Okay.
I did provide a budget update, and what I did was, you'll see everything in yellow. These are the adjustments that were made over this period. At last meeting, we talked about the amendment to CGA's contract. And so it was an add of 46.5 and then a deduct of 46.5 of allowances they had in their contract. So that's what you see at the top here. That 46.5 goes in, and then in line 7, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, that comes out. The only add that we did have was the water well contract. The final bid amount was $65,825. We carried 50 grand for it originally, so that was higher than we thought it was going to come in. So that effect to your contingency is below. In line 33, still a very healthy contingency for a project this size. Questions on budget? No?
No.
I did want to talk about material testing. So we have Briggs on site for our material testing, and we've had issues with scheduling in that they're actually, they've said they're pretty much out of people. So we've called for some inspections even 24 to 48 hours in advance, and we just don't have anybody. So I've reached out to the second bidder. When I requested 3 quotes at the time when we got material testing. So I've reached out to the one that came in second, and I said, listen, would you be available to supplement if we need you? So I'm in the process of getting them on board so that we could have another tester there if we call Briggs and they say we don't have anybody for this day. We don't want to hit any scheduling issues during the concrete portion. I have asked the architect to just verify that he's okay having 2 different testing companies. It'll really be the structural engineer of record who says yay or nay to that. I don't think we'll have any issues, but it's really just for backup. I hope not to use them at all, but the way things have been going and how busy construction is, I thought it would be better safe than sorry to have somebody on board.
And we'll get no blowback from Briggs at all? I mean,
Nope, I spoke to Briggs. I told them, listen, I'm gonna have to bring somebody else in if you guys can't do the job, and they said, no, we
Yeah.
understand, we're
Yeah.
understaffed,
I think we went ahead, which was.
so.
Okay.
Change requests, I did provide a change request log here. So, if you look at the change request, the first one is for the cruiser port provisions. And this is to put in our concrete foundations, our footings really, for the cruiser port and conduit to it. If you remember, the cruiser port was an ad alternate that we didn't move forward on. So this is to get a number. We're not moving forward on anything yet. We're still waiting on the number. In order to find out what it's gonna cost to put the provisions in for it. So that we can get everything in the ground before we do any sort of paving. And the town doesn't have to go back and rip out the paving, after the project if we wanna put the cruiser port back in. The second one, the underground dead man, this is actually coming off, this has been found to be, void, or really doesn't apply. But the plumber didn't feel that the dead man was in his specs. We went through and reviewed after I put this together, and found that it was in addenda number 2 that he does own it, so that's coming off. As far as our owner vendors go, I did talk about the well water, and then, we were trying to set up a meeting for next week to talk about radios. The chief is off, but we have one set up for the 16th. We're gonna sit down with Chick and start to, move forward on the radio portion of the project, so that's the next piece, and then we'll also get into furniture as well.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
You might have radios that you can actually use.
That was all I had for the update, kind of brief at this time because it's going very well. We haven't run into any issues out there.
Yeah. I saw you had Comcast out there today.
Yeah,
so
they
hopefully
finally
haven't
putting
done
it in that.
I
Yeah.
actually had called them late last week and asked if they could move it along.
That might have helped, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. it was-
Yeah, but they screwed up
Still
our
took-
internet, so.
Did they really? Yeah, we've been waiting on internet out there. We're kind of working off hotspots and things like that.
Yeah,
But
so.
we have we have temp power out there for the job. The site excavator is working very well. So we're happy with how things are going right now.
Anyone have any questions or comments? Mary? You came in a little on the end, but things are going well. Things are going well.
Is that things
You
are
know what,
going
yeah,
well?
it looks
On
like it.
time and on budget.
On time and on
Yep,
budget.
on time, on budget. No
That's the
money.
important part.
Yes. And, the excavation is almost over, right?
Yeah, the excavation is actually pretty much done except for any trenching and then the septic area.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a good site contractor, which makes all the difference,
Mhm.
especially in a rocky site like this one.
All right.
Who was the site contractor?
Not Jim.
Luciano.
Luciano. Yeah, J.R. Vinegar did the demo, the, tree removal, and Luciano has done all the excavation.
All right. That being said, if nothing else, motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion made.
Second.
Seconded, all in
Just hit the
favor?
seat warm.
Aye.
There you go.